But any other advice regarding your spiritual practices or your attitude towards others or anything that you recall?
He considered me as very enthusiastic and of good qualities, you see. But about these things he told more as a, not so much for my practice. My practice I remember like this. I asked him one day, Maharaj, I introduced one system because when I went, some boys joined. I introduced early morning arati, 5 o'clock. But then I would sometimes come from lecture, this, that, at night 12 o'clock. So morning, again whole day work is there. So morning sometimes I would not feel like getting up. It was dark at that time. So I told him, this is the situation, what shall I do? Ranganathi's time, there was no morning arati or anything. Everybody to himself. Of course, got up earlier, but not so earlier, with fixed time. This is the ashrama routine. What is your life will depend upon your routine. And the boys will understand also, this is ashrama routine. Like this, he gave me concession. And he had got a unique idea. Why I am telling, once Vivekananda centenary time, during my time, one man came out, he circulated a letter as if he is bringing out the magazine on behalf of the ashram committee. Then I came to know that is called for him, he would not come, then threatened him, I said give a paper statement, he came. Anyhow, I became mollified and allowed him. And he published, but everything he did not do. But anyhow, so I told him, this man was using our name and this. He is doing a good work, you people are not doing it. You are not going to bring out any special issue on Swamiji. At least he in your name is printing. He gave me a completely different idea about things. That he is taking advantage of you to make some money. But otherwise you are not going to do it. So in a way he has helped you. So I try to take advantage. Even if somebody takes advantage, I see the others, try to see the other side because of his training. Even that time, another side would show me.
And when you were the head of Delhi, how frequently did you go to Vrindavan to meet him? Would you say a few times a year or more frequently than that?
Yeah, a few times a year, not more than that, a few times a year.
And at that time, you would seek his advice or just enjoy his holy company, or both?
Mainly enjoy his holy company, and he advise, of course, every now and then, what do you think about this, about that, like that I talk. I remember in Madras it once happened. Still young man, he used to come to me. Now he came with a problem. He was offered a double pay in his old railways. He was working in the railways. Double pay in South India. Now he was asking, shall I take that job or not? Well, what question is this? You are getting money double the pay, why should not take it? Oh, there is a little hitch. I have to maintain an account, separate book, some type of accounting. And if any time inspection comes, I should be the victim. But everybody makes money, top to bottom they have got arrangement of sharing. And he is the man on the spot. So my advice to him, don't come here. By coming to sadhus, this conflict has come, don't come to us. Because I could not tell him, don't take it, because he had told my elder sister is not yet married. Dowry system is there, you see. His elder sister is not yet married. That means a big problem. I don't come here. Then, after a few days he comes and says, no, I found a solution. What? Somebody has told, it's karma yoga. Karma is this, you are that. It's a wrong application of karma yoga. Anyhow, I told this story to Gopesh Maharaj. That this is what the position he is telling. What shall I say? I told, don't come. He said, no, let him take it. Because I have seen people in their first flash of enthusiasm, great idealism, they did, and later they are ready to even steal. Even steal this cheat, because when the shortage of money comes, people lose all sense. So he supported that idea because he told, I have known several cases like that. So not that always absolute standard he was talking. He was talking about practical standard for a man in family, what he may do.
Gopesh Maharaj was a very practical person, was he not?
Yes, very practical. This is one of the instances. Yeah.
And he seemed to have a great insight into management, although he himself was not a manager. I remember he asked a lot of and showed a great deal of interest in the American work of Vedanta. Do you believe he had that same interest in the work in India?
Yes, he had. In fact, I was telling 3 of the top Swamis went to see him. He went so. Why? You see, you will take 100 boys in 2,000 applications. You are making 1,900 enemies for yourself. Those who will not get seats, they will not criticize you. So I think you should give up this work to the devotees, householders, and release the sadhus for preaching Ramakrishna and practicing spirituality. And whole world you should cover, to get stuck up to a particular place. A few big centers he wanted because that creates impression. People come and all that. One reason why Ramakrishna is so much lionized is social work also.
Right.
And Swamiji is so much respected because he advocated social service, patriotic service like that. So he did practical suggestions, varieties, village work, different suggestions this way, that way. Many types of things. Say, buy a bullock cart, give somebody a price of a cow, like that type of small things. That also in village situation, he used to do that. Because
anything else about Gopesh Maharaj, either his life or the work he did? He wrote quite a few books, did he not?
He wrote Chaitanya Sri Chaitanya Devi. That is the book. He wrote, and it's an authentic book. His specialty is, first chapter, presented Chaitanya and tried to remove the objections that are made that way. Have you got time to increase that one? Not so much.
Sure,
time.
go ahead. Just say what you'd like. We can always cut it.
Because the way he presented is very original way. Say, in one place he says how Chaitanya trained up his intimate devotees, how he created preachers, how he started the organization, Sangha. Now these stories are known in one way, but his presentation was so good. Then ideal Garhastha householder families of that, and then of course spreading the idea of singing and all that. Now he beautifully presented how the charges that are made against Chaitanya, he counteracted with quotations and did that. One is too much of emotionalism of Chaitanya, but he himself was not. He was very strict sadhu. Then that many people later days, Vaishnavas, wanted to discourage that. It was cruelty to his wife and mother. No, he took the permission from wife and mother. But they present it in a different way, as if sannyasi is not, because now and then he criticizes fake sannyasis, but for him that he made. Then sometimes it describes sannyas, but that is for people who do not observe it. For himself and for some people, the absolute standard is gave, and did not encourage sannyas for average people, because they are often not fit. The charges made against fanaticism among the Vaishnavas, but Sri Ramakrishna, encouraged devotion to his thought, but not fanatism, not to hate others, that idea. Some people thought he did not believe in Vedas and spirit too much, more emotional side. But they got support from those things.
And didn't he also write a book about Muhammad?
Yes, he wrote a book on Muhammad, but and again showing Muhammad as a saint, other things what he has done, like that. But a Muslim, liberal Muslim at that time said, it is not yet time to bring out a book on Islam because India was full of fanaticism and Muslim League was working just before independence. So this book must be lying down somewhere. So nobody has tried to publish it,
And wasn't Gopesh Maharaj very unusual in the sense that in his room he had a picture of Holy Mother, and on both sides of Holy Mother were her two attendants. Was it Gopalma and
Gulapma and
Yoginma?
Yoginma.
Wasn't that quite unusual? For a Swami to have the pictures of Holy Mother, I mean, he knew them very well, did he not?
Of course, Gulapma and Yoginma all the time was around Holy Mother. Our Swamis are unorthodox, you see, unorthodox. So he had that feeling, and by this time Holy Mother, after Ramakrishna's centenary, began to be known, and after her centenary, everywhere she was open by that time. In 30s, they would not give her picture to outside people. That's why Swami Swahananda did not lecture on Holy Mother for many years, openly. Till later that started. Now, Holy Mother, of course, people would ask him about Holy Mother. So half the time you'd avoid, oh, it has come in the books and all that. But one or two sometimes things she would say, what to do and all that.